We are in the module number 4 and we are starting with the second chapter here, water technology. And in this session we are going to discuss about the scale and sludge formation and some of the boiler troubles. Okay, water is an important thing, the second important thing for all the living things. First being the air. Without air we cannot live, right? The second most important for living is water. Okay, almost of the 70 to 71% of the earth surface is covered with water only, out of which the 96.5% of the water will be locked in the form of sea waters, and around 2.9% of water will be present as ice and glaciers. So when we take totally the total availability of the potable water or the water which is suitable for using purposes will be only and only around 0.6%. Okay, so water is very important to manage. Okay, so manage in the sense the wastewater should be converted into usable form. At least it can be used for garden purposes and other purposes. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to discuss about the some of the conversion methods of seawater into the potable water, like desalination process, deionization process we are going to discuss, and sewage treatment we are going to discuss. And in this session we are going to discuss about the scale and sludge formation and the boiler corrosion, which are referred to as boiler troubles. Okay, what are these boiler troubles? I told you water is needed for all the living beings and also for industries. For us, water for what purpose water is needed? For cleaning, washing and drinking purposes water is needed, and almost of the all the industries needs water. There is no industry which does not require water, right? So in the industries water will be heated. Okay, and then what happens? Then it is converted into the steam. The steam is used for different purposes. So the boiler is a closed vessel, okay, which will be operating at a higher pressure and temperature ranges. Okay, there water will be getting heated and then it will be converted into the steam. Okay, that is used for different purposes. Fine, and we are discussing here about some of the problems which are caused in the boiler. What are the problems that generally caused in the boiler? The water which we are using now, it may contain some of the dissolved impurities. Because of the dissolved impurities present in boiler face some of the problems. The problems like scale and sludge formation, priming and foaming, and boiler corrosion. Okay, let us discuss this one by one. First, let us start with the scale and sludge formation. What is this scale and sludge formation? Here, what happens is some of the impurities which are present as dissolved impurities in water, no, like they will be very well soluble in cold water. Okay, and when the temperature increases, no, the solubility decreases. So when the water is heated in the boilers, they will be forming precipitates. Fine, when all the water gets evaporated, what happens? They will start sticking to the walls and other parts of the boiler as a scales. Very hard deposit, hardly adhering deposit or layer can be seen on boilers, and also on vessels. If you use the same vessel for heating water for more days, now you can observe a hard and thick layer formed. Okay, that is the scales. Okay, so when the temperature increases, they will be starting to stick on the walls of the boiler and other parts. They are called as scales. And the loosely held deposits. Okay, the same like scales, only hard deposits will be usually present at the bottom of the boiler. They are referred to as a sludge. Okay, so the thick deposit which is sticking to the walls of the boiler and other parts is called a scale, and a loosely held deposit which will be usually present at the bottom of the boiler is called as a sludge. Okay, and why the scales and sludge are formed? Scales are due to the impurities like magnesium chloride, bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium, and the calcium sulfates. And the sludge formation is due to the presence of calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and magnesium sulfate and magnesium carbonates. Okay, let us discuss this and let us go through the reactions wherever possible. Okay, here no, when the water is heated in boilers, what happens? If salts like calcium sulfate and silicates of calcium and magnesium are present, what happens? No, they are very well soluble in cold water, and when the temperature increases, okay, when the temperature increases in the boiler, they will be starting to or getting deposited on the walls of the boiler as scales. And other reason is, if the water contains bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium, what happens here is, when see the reactions, the calcium bicarbonate and magnesium bicarbonate, when they are heated in a boiler, they will be converted into their particular carbonates. They will be converted into the particular carbonates. See, the reactions are important. We will be using the same reaction for other purpose also. So please to remember the equations. Okay. So here, when magnesium and calcium bicarbonates are heated, they will be forming the particular carbonates, and these carbonates are going to deposit on the walls and other parts of the boiler as a scales. Fine. And if salts of magnesium like magnesium chloride is present now, it will react with water to form magnesium hydroxide, and that magnesium hydroxide is going to stick as a scale. Clear, no? If calcium sulfate or silicates of calcium and magnesium is there, they will dissolve well in cold water, and the solubility decreases with the increase in temperature. They will stick to walls as a scales. And if bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium is present, when they are heated in water, they will be forming the carbonates, particular carbonates, that will get stick to the walls as scales. And if salts of magnesium like magnesium chloride is present, it reacts with water to form magnesium hydroxide, that gets sticks to the walls as a scale. Fine. And then how to prevent the scale formation? Okay, usually the boiler should be cleaned by using either a wooden or wire brush. Okay, wire brush or wooden scrapes will be there, scraper that should be used to clean the boiler, but the expense will be very high. Okay, huge boilers will be there, no, but it's not an easy task to clean the boilers. Okay, they can be cleaned by using wooden scraper or the wire brush. This one, wire brush apparatus will be there to clean the boilers. Fine. And then the blow down operation can be done. Blow down operation is one where the impure water will be there, no, in the boiler, that will be refilled with the fresh water and soft water. Water should be replaced from time to time. Fine. And by giving thermal shocks. Okay, when we give the thermal shocks, no, like heat treatment, heat shocks, they will become, sometimes the scales will become brittle and they will get fallen easily. Or we can either treat with the acids like 5 to 10% HCl. Okay, and also we can use EDTA for calcium and magnesium salts. By using these methods, we can prevent up to some extent on the formation of the scales or removal of the scales. And the next is a sludge, the loose deposit. Okay, the loosely held deposits which will be present at the bottom of the boilers and in the distribution pipes is called as a sludges. Okay. And then the sludge can be removed by, once again, blow down operation, that is replacing of the fresh water okay, with the impure water. Okay, the impure water should be removed from the boiler, and in that place fresh soft water should be replaced. Okay, and the impurities now which dissolves in hot water than in a cold water, no, they will be forming the sludge. Some salts like the presence of calcium chloride and magnesium salts are responsible for this sludge formation. What is the disadvantages which are caused due to the sludge formation are? It reduces the boiler efficiency, cleaning expenses will be very high. Okay, and the sludge causes a clogging in the water pipes. Okay, the water pipes may be blocked sometimes. Okay, how to replace means, how to prevent means by replacing the water which is present in the boiler with the fresh water. Okay, even in the case of the scale formation, the disadvantages are the cleaning process will become very high. Okay, very high cleaning expenses, and also you need to supply more amount of heat to produce hot water, because being a very bad conductor of heat and electricity, the scale will not allow the heat to spread to the water. Okay, it will stop the heat to pass to the water. So large amount of heat to be supplied to heat the waters. Fine. Then next is a boiler corrosion. The body of the boiler is made by any of the metals like iron. Okay, the decay or destruction of the metal due to the presence of the impurities in a boiler feed water is called as a boiler corrosion. Okay, how the boiler corrosion will take place, let us discuss. Generally, the corrosion in boilers will be due to the presence of oxygen, dissolved carbon dioxide and magnesium chloride salts. Fine. So let us see one by one. If dissolved oxygen is present in water, no, it will be present always. Okay, when the dissolved oxygen in water at high temperatures, it will be reacting with iron like this. Okay, the iron will be reacting with the air or oxygen with the water and will be forming ferrous hydroxide. Okay, the ferrous hydroxide once again when it comes in a contact with the moisture and air, it will be forming to the hydrated ferric salt, that is rust. We discussed this in a electrochemical theory of corrosion, right? In corrosion chapter, almost a similar mechanism will be taking place here. Okay, the dissolved oxygen will be reacting with the metal, right, in presence of moisture at high temperatures to form ferrous hydroxide, and the ferrous hydroxide further reacts with the oxygen, okay, and moisture to form the rust. Fine, this is one of the method. And due to dissolved carbon dioxide, let us see how it will get corroded. See here, the carbon dioxide may get dissolved from air, right, from the dissolved salts at high temperatures. The carbon dioxide formed, it will be reacting with water to form carbonic acid. See here, these reactions previously also we discussed. Calcium bicarbonate, if it is present, they will be converted to their particular carbonates with carbon dioxide and water. See, in a boiler trouble scale formation, we have used a carbonate formation. Here we are using a carbon dioxide formation. The carbon dioxide will be reacting with water to form a carbonic acid. This carbonic acid causes corrosion. Presence of acid causes corrosion. Okay, and further, if any salts like ferrous bicarbonate is present, okay, it will be reacting to give ferrous hydroxide. Once when ferrous hydroxide is formed, it will be forming the rust product. Okay, like previously what we discussed. And the corrosion due to the magnesium chloride. Okay, if any mineral acids like magnesium chloride or iron chloride is present in boiler feed water, they react with the water to form their particular hydroxide with the release of acid. See here in this reaction there is release of acids like HCl, right? Presence of acid causes a corrosion. Okay, so in this way the boiler corrosion will be caused. Once again we will revise the points discussed in boiler corrosion. Boiler corrosion will be happening because of the presence of dissolved oxygen. If dissolved oxygen is present, it reacts with iron metal to form ferrous hydroxide and further to the ferric salt, which is rust. Next is due to the presence of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide will be entering into water from the bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium, and that carbon dioxide will be reacting with water to form carbonic acid. Carbonic acid causes corrosion. And the third one is if magnesium chloride or magnesium ferric chloride is present, what happens is it reacts with water to form their particular hydroxides with acid HCl. Presence of acid causes corrosion. Okay, so this is the end of the boiler corrosion. We will be meeting with the next topic in the next session. Until then, take care.